with Tim Ayling, Vice President EMEA, Cyber Specialist at Imperva. Tim, thank you for talking to us.
No problem.
Let's start with what are you showcasing at GITEX this year?
Yeah, so at Jitex we're showcasing, well, we have a very broad range of security solutions, as you know. Personally, I'm focused on a couple of areas that are really important and strategic to Imperva. One being applications and APIs, and the other being data, so data security. So the way I look at what we're doing is, people are saying that data is the new oil, it's that important. And for me that's true. But on the other hand, applications and APIs are like the engine. It's equally as important. It keeps the day-to-day running of the business going, and we're here to help secure that.
In terms of the landscape, the threat landscape, what are the biggest vectors that you're seeing? Is it still ransomware, DDoS, and things like that? What are you seeing in the market?
So there's a huge range, as we know. That's why there's so many security vendors around. DDoS, especially with the problems in Eastern Europe, DDoS has become extremely a big issue right now. But one thing I always look at with security problems, we talk a lot about the new threats and what's coming, but actually 99% of the problems we have are old technology, existing threats, things that we can actually quite easily fix, but it's just not done because maybe we're looking too far in the future. From my point of view, because of the job I do, I see all the threats coming through APIs. There was a big one in Australia with Optus just last week, and of course, at the end of the day, what are they after? They're after the data, and we're looking at lots of different ways on how you can secure the data itself.
So data is moving to the cloud, so are applications.
Yeah.
Can you protect all this data and applications in the cloud as well?
Absolutely, and the reality is it's not like everything's moved from on-premise to the cloud and no one's on-premise anymore. You've still got your mainframes, you've still got things on-premise, and actually the vast majority of our customers are using multi-cloud. So it's not just AWS or just Azure or just Google. It's a multi-cloud environment. So absolutely, we're 100% committed to supporting all those environments, because otherwise, we're not protecting our customers correctly.
So what are you bringing to the table for them?
So as I say, Imperva have a broad range. So we start at the edge with kind of network DDoS and CDN. We then look at, as I said, the engine, which is applications and APIs. And then we look at the data itself. And so we do, through partnerships, we do things like encryption and masking. But actually, what we're doing is discovering, classifying, and then kind of, reporting on anomalies. Why is this person suddenly downloading so much information? But I come back to a conversation I had probably 10 years ago with a personal friend of mine she's also a CISO of an investment bank. And she said that actually she only really worries about three things: budgets, compliance, and when something bad happens, I need to tell my boss what happened, visibility. And so I look at all the benefits and all the features that we have, and actually they tend to tie themselves into those three things. Can we save you money? Can we help you with compliance? And can we show visibility of what you have?
Do you think security is now a business problem, not a technology problem?
Like most things, it's probably a bit of both. Yeah, I think a lot of us software vendors tend to think that technology will solve it all, and of course the reality isn't that way. It is 100% a business problem in the board and the C-level are very much interested in it now. And I think shows like this, you suddenly see the security vendors they're enormous. You see big stands and big money being spent on it, and that's because it is very much a board level issue.
How different is this region from the rest of Europe that you handle?
That's a very good question. So compliance is still very much an issue for everybody. So in Europe, for example, we have GDPR, which is a significant challenge for all organisations over there. But then you have equivalent compliance over here. For example, Saudi Arabia, they have a huge privacy law that's coming into I think it's coming into place in March. So there's a lot of activity around that. So compliance is kind of a very broad challenge. I think it's fair to say that the way we do business is different, but that's just a cultural thing, and it's we react to that as well. But at the end of the day, I think everybody or every company is under attack, and in fact you could say every individual is under attack at the moment with ransomware as well. So there are differences, but it's not as different as you probably would think.
Thanks a lot for your time, Tim.
My pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to us.